Hello everyone, welcome. This is Kenpachi and today we're gonna talk about Rise of Kingdoms. Today we are going to look at 3, 4 and 5 best open field march combinations. So if you like my videos, please do not forget to subscribe and like. And if you did that already, get ready. Let's get into it. Here we are going to see 3, 4 and 5 best open field march combinations. But before we start, I have to warn you all. These march setups are great, but needs valid and solid equipments and armament sets. Without that, they will not perform as much as you expected. With that said, let's start with 3 march setup. In this setup, we just need to pick best of the best among all troop types among all troop commanders, which is 1 infantry, 1 cavalry and 1 archer. At this point of the game, you should not choose main troop type and go for the best commanders. Other way, you will just only nerf yourself. So 3 March setup is going to look like Baiki with Liu Che, Huo with Arthur, and QSH with Zhuge or YSG. These commanders are best in the game. They won't change and I won't change them with any other, believe me. Now moving to 4 March setup, now you can pick your main troop type. What we have is still 1 from each and plus to any of your main choice. 2 infantry, 1 cavalry, 1 arch, 2 cavalry, 1 infantry, 1 archer, or 2 archer, 1 infantry and 1 cavalry. What are the commander pairings for this? 2 infantry 1 is going to Baiki with Liu Che and Ragnar Prime, CPO Prime duo. Rest Huo with Arthur and QSH with Zhuge or YSG. 2 Archer 1, QSH, YSG, and Zhuge Philip or Herman. I will explain this double commander choice further on the list. Anyway, rest of the team is going to be look like again Baiki with Liu Che for infantry and Huo with Arthur for cavalry. 2 cavalry 1 is going to Huo with John Prime and Arthur with Philip or William. Rest is Baiki with Liu Che and QSH with Zhuge or YSG. So know this, you still should do best of the pairs. Do not deceive yourself, you might pick your main, yet beware the new commander releases. Game can release some commanders like QSH and force you to make it, because it is that good. And if you're not prepared, you will be missing the great commander and left behind. Prepared, I'm saying, because if you can have an early archer march, you will craft gear for it, and with that way, when you get QSH-like commanders, you won't need to worry about your equipment. Now, 5 March setups. Here we have a couple of combinations, 3-1-1, 2-2-1, and even 2-1-1-1. Let's start with that. I would recommend 3-1-1 personally, but of course, choice is yours. I'm using 3 infantry, 1 cavalry, 1 archer march, and we're going to start with that. Baiki with Philip or William Wallace, Ragnar Prime, CPO Prime, and Liu Che with Alex or Philip again. You can swap Philip between the Baiki at Liu Che, but Liu Che with Alex still great, do not dismiss that fact. I still use Alex and experience talks here, he is still good to have. And next is going to be Huo with Arthur for cavalry and QSH with Zhuge or YSG for archer. My main is, like I said, infantry, and I use this combination. I did 1.2 billion KP at my last KVK against 1960, and I only spent minimum amount of money, so this works great and perfect. Like I said, I experienced it in first hand. Well, next one is going to 3 cavalry, 1 infantry, 1 archer. Arthur with Philip, Huo with John Prime, and Nevsky with William. Some prefers Huo with Belisarius Prime, yet I don't like the march without an AoE. In my setup, each march of these has AoE. This way, you always get your value from your AoE hits. Rest of the roster, Baiki with Liu Che for infantry, and QSH with Zhuge or YSG for archers again. This combination has speed value and very high damage output with hit and run tactics. You catch the enemy quickly, unload your rage to them, and retreat swiftly. 3 archer, 1 infantry, 1 cavalry is last of these 3-1-1 setups. QSH with YSG, Zhuge with Philip, and Ashur with Hermann. Archer marches usually got targeted, yet if you can manage to micromanage yours, these 3 has big AoE with high skill damage output. Rest of the team will be Huo with Arthur and Baiki with Liu Che. Now let's continue with 2-2-1 combinations. 2 infantry, 2 cavalry, 1 archer. Baiki with Liu Che and Ragnar Prime, CPO Prime will be our infantry. Huo with John Prime and Arthur with Philip or William for cavalries. Yes, we talked about this many times, William. William has a debuff from his active skill, which disables buff that increase skill damage. It counters many commanders, for example QSH with YSG. Their power comes from skill damage and YSG gives 62% skill damage bonus. And William active just disable that. So William still has his value even his active skill damage is low. Therefore, Philip is good with Arthur, yet William has good advantage too. But choice is yours. Both work great. And for archers, we're going to choose QSH with Zhuge or YSG, of course. 2 infantry, 2 archer, 1 cavalry. Baiki with Liu Che and Ragnar Prime, CPO Prime will be again our infantry pairings. QSH with YSG will be our primary archer march. This march has the best damage output in the game. We all know this is the best march in the game. The damage output is out of this world. He has good survival kit, still lack of march speed, but everything else compensate that. Second archer march going to be Zhuge with Philip or Hermann. Both are great. Philip gives a bit more tankiness to that march, but Hermann debuff is not something you can ignore, so both is perfectly fine. And for cavalry, Huo with Arthur is our cavalry. 2 archer, 2 cavalry, 1 infantry. Huo with John Prime and Arthur with Philip or William for cavalries. We talked about this choice, both commanders have benefits. QSH with YSG and Zhuge with Philip or Hermann. Also this one too, I shared my opinion. And infantry pair will going to be Baiki with Liu Che. Now we have one last combination. It is 2-1-1-1. This includes siege pairs. When you choose the best of each troop type, you add 1 siege and that will be our Gaja Cordova pair. This pair just gives lots of versatility to your gameplay. By the way, it might seem too easy to handle this pair, but it actually needs good attention because it requires very specific situations to use this march. You need to pay attention to many aspects. You need to position well to hit opponents and not get caught by any AoE from your front lines. You must read the situation on the field. You guys pushing or retreating or in stalemate, you have to watch everything. With this, you have to act fast and move your march quickly or you get caught and all that positive report can be ruined. Now let's look at the overall at commanders we picked. For archers, QSH is the ultimate and unskippable for sure. Arthur is the same for cavalry. He has double use and this makes him very versatile. Baiki is great for infantry, he is smite commander, but if you didn't invest on him, the skill damage commander Ragnar Prime can replace him. But remember this, Ragnar needs a good secondary like CPO Prime, yet Baiki can be used with Philip to cover lack of infantry commanders. And of course, the compatible for situation 1, Philip. Philip can be usable anywhere the situation requires. He can be paired for each troop type easily. Well, this is the best open field march pairings for 3, 4 and 5 march setups. Next one will be 6 and 7 march combinations. But again, I repeat, do not fall into meta madness. Play with whatever you like and make sure your gear and armaments are relevant or optimal at least. Because even if you have the all best commanders on your roster, you will still do no damage or you cannot survive in the field with no gear or no armaments. Remember that. Thanks for watching. I hope this will help some players. If you liked the video, consider subscribe and like. And if you need more, check out the channel. You might find more you want to know. And if you have questions, Comment below, let's discuss it. In channel, there will be many quick guides like this, so stay tuned. See you next time. Ken out.